Live. I'm Maddie Gardner. Tanya Rivera is joining us today. So patriotic.
Woo-woo! Right, it's the 4th over.
Yeah, we're observing it.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Eric Chilton, not on a long holiday weekend, but it's as close as you can get when you escape the studio for the pool.
That's right. That's right. I ran away just temporarily. I'll be back tomorrow. I had to have another reason to extend my weekend here. Yeah, we're at the Greensboro Elks Lodge, and we're going to be talking about all things pool, right? All things, whether it's swim meets and teams or swim lessons, and just how the pool is the centerpiece for every organization in the summertime. This is just a lap pool. We're going to show you the big pool coming up in just a minute. I can tell you firsthand, Tim Buckley, that it is hot out here. I'm going to run inside in between my live shots.
Yeah, it's a little hot. At least you're more appropriately dressed, I'd say, than this here blazer, right? Hot day in the afternoon, no surprises for the 5th of July. A little bit warmer than yesterday, too. Let's check out those numbers across the Piedmont this afternoon. You're sitting in the upper 80s, pretty much everybody. 87 in Winston-Salem, Greensboro, High Point, Burlington cracked that 90-degree mark for this afternoon. And looking locally, we're all in the same boat here, unless you took the drive up into the high country. Boone is sitting at 80 degrees right now at that higher elevation, so always a little bit of an escape from the heat up there. Our humidity is slowly crawling back. It wasn't that humid over the weekend. Now it's getting a little bit back to it with dew points back into the 60s. Now, where do we go for tomorrow? It's basically the same, just a few degrees warmer. Morning temperatures right around 70. Afternoon, we get into those low 90s. So do pack or just plan on being hot and sticky the next couple of afternoons. All the while, we're keeping our eyes closely on Tropical Storm ELSA. Now, if you haven't paid attention over the weekend, I don't blame you. I'm here to inform you on where it is. Winds are at 60 miles per hour. It is a tropical storm. That's Florida. That's Cuba. It's moving over Cuba right now. And here's the latest track. Expected to pass to the west of much of the Florida peninsula, but coming ashore north of Tampa by tomorrow night. And once we go into Wednesday, it's tracking inland across Georgia, South Carolina, and then by Thursday, it's moving right over North Carolina. Now, all the computer models right now, here's the triad, they put the center of the storm to our east. Usually, the worst of the winds, the worst of the rain, and the worst of the severe weather is east of the storm. So that would put the worst of it in eastern North Carolina, not so much here in the triad. Bottom line for us at this point, I think we could see some gusty winds over 30 miles per hour and some bursts of rain, but probably not much more than that. Of course, we'll be watching it all week, and we'll let you know if anything changes.
Let's take a look at the headlines now in your 4 to 5 roundup. A Greensboro woman says her 4th of July was interrupted when a bullet came through her window and into her house. Take a look at these pictures here that she gave us. It happened on the 4th of July as fireworks were going off. Now, fortunately, the bullet did not hit anyone and only left minor damage. Experts, though, warn against firing celebratory gunshots on holidays each and every year. You can hear more of this woman's story coming up tonight on WFMY News 2 at 5. First responders in Florida found 3 more victims at the condo collapse site hours after the rest of the building was demolished. Officials say by bringing the entire building down, it's now safer for crews to search more of the debris. 27 people are confirmed dead, but crews are still looking for 118 people who are missing. Pope Francis is recovering in a hospital today after undergoing surgery for inflammation. The Vatican said the Pope had part of his colon removed from diverticulitis, a common issue among elderly people. The surgery came hours after the Pope delivered his usual Sunday address, where he made no mention of the operation. He is expected to stay in the hospital for the rest of the week. And as we wait to see what Tropical Storm ELSA's impact is on the U.S., the storm moved by the Dominican Republic over the weekend. So far, at least 3 deaths have been linked to strong winds and heavy rains that hit the country. Trees came down and roofs were ripped off in the storm's path. As the storm moves toward the United States, the governor of Florida issued a state of emergency out of precaution.
Well, July 4th marked not only a celebration of independence, but it was supposed to be the day that the White House hoped to reach the goal. President Joe Biden wanted to see 70% of American adults with at least one COVID-19 vaccine shot. Well, we missed the milestone with demand slowing down. So far, about 67% of all U.S. adults are partially vaccinated. President Biden encouraged everyone to do what he sees as their patriotic duty, and that is to get the shot.
My fellow Americans, it's the most patriotic thing you can do. So please, if you haven't gotten vaccinated, Do it. Do it now. For yourself, for your loved ones, for your community, and for your country.
All right, so here's 3 things to know right now. In North Carolina, our vaccine numbers are much lower. So far, only 56% of all adults are partially vaccinated. When you widen the scope to also include kids ages 12 through 17 who can now get the vaccine, that number falls to 53% of people with at least 1 dose. Now remember that second dose lottery in North Carolina, it's coming up this week. On Wednesday, names will be pulled with another $1 million and a college scholarship up for grabs. Anyone who got at least 1 dose by Sunday at midnight is now eligible for this week's drawing. It will take officials a few days, just like it did last time, to verify the names pulled to make sure that they're eligible to be winners. If they stick to the same timeline as they did the first drawing, it will be this time next week we will know those winners.
Keeping an eye out for those who are homeless in Greensboro. A group of ladies at Harmony Senior Living Center in Greensboro have been working on a special project to do just that. So we sent WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey over there to find out about the project and what they've been able to accomplish.
Yeah, Maddie, we all know that Greensboro, unfortunately, has way too many residents without a place to call home. Although the ladies at Harmony Senior Living aren't able to fix the bigger problem, they are doing their part to help as many people as they can.
It is a wonderful thing. It makes us feel good to know that we can do something to help someone else. As my daily prayer is, Lord, lead me to do or say something to make somebody's day a little brighter.
Over the last 6 months, the ladies at Harmony Senior Living in Greensboro have been making sleeping mats out of plastic grocery bags for our homeless community.
Well, I thought of all of the cold nights, wet grounds, that maybe this would help them at least sleep and rest a little better.
Miss Peggy Yao was the one who came up with the idea, and a good number of her neighbors were eager to spend their time helping others. But truthfully, they helped themselves.
It has brought us much closer. We know each other better. It has been very enlightening for each of us.
The goal was to make 12 mats, and each mat requires 2,000 plus bags to be completed. Most are even big enough to share.
We set out to make 12. The 13th one is in the process now. And possibly this winter we will take the project on again.
And guys, I'm gonna show you why it takes so many bags.
Right.
Can you help me out, Maddie,
Wow.
please? I mean, these mats are pretty big. And if you would like to donate your time or some supplies to the ladies at Harmony Senior Living Center, I've attached all their contact information in my web story on WFMYnews2.com. But look how long this thing is.
And it's
like,
much more spongy than I thought it would
Yeah.
be. You think of a paper, the plastic bag, and you just think how thin that is, but it's not. It feels very
The
spongy.
way they weave it together, and you can see just how many individual bags went into this. So they're cranking them out over there.
Oh, absolutely. They got an assembly line. Everybody's got a role. Everybody's got a job. And these ladies are knocking them out.
So we can drop these off for them?
So you can drop off bags at Harmony if you'd like.
Okay.
Or if you'd like to volunteer, I'm sure they're looking for help as well.
The whole crochet knit thing, I was like, I don't know that I can do that, but I can definitely drop off some bags.
There you go.
And what's interesting is a lot of recycling centers won't take like the grocery bags
Exactly.
because they clog up the machines. You have to bring them back to the grocery store for them to be
Right.
recycled. So this is a great way for them to reuse them.
And that's what Miss Peggy was letting us know. She was like, let's cut back on some of our waste and help out our community.
Right, and I love that they make it into a pattern as well. It is a pretty pattern.
It is very nice to see.
Good for them.
That's so
Thanks
cool.
for telling us about it, Jalen.
No worries. Thank the ladies.
All right,
Appreciate
4 to
you.
5 heading to break. We are live on Facebook, though. We are chatting with you there. Invite your friends. I mean, what else are you doing? You're off work. Come on.
They got us beat, right?
Hey there, check 1, 2. We wouldn't be the first time. Yes, I can. Yep, go ahead. Yep. He says yes. That means yes.
All right, so I have to be honest with you guys. I didn't come in until 2:30 today. I'm working the late shift.
Right.
So I spent my morning at the pool, and it was lovely, and I do wish I were still there. Yeah, a nice holiday swim.
I'm glad that you had a very good time. And wouldn't you know that Eric Chilton, too, when he showed up for work this morning, he's like, hey, I kind of want to go to the pool. What a surprise. So he headed out to the Elks Lodge pool in Greensboro to check out all the summer fun. All the tough assignments, Chilton.
I know. I came in today and I said, does the holiday really have to end? I think I'm going to stay here. Yes, so we went out to the Greensboro Elks Lodge, and we're just talking about how the pool is just the centerpiece of summer. I mean, that's pretty much, even when people go to the beach, I think they like to have a pool at the hotel. It's just kind of the way it works. Kevin Black is with us today with the Elks Lodge, and you and I were talking about this. I mean, this is, and we'll let Manning, the photographer, show what's going on, but this is the centerpiece of a lot of institutions like this.
It is. It's our greatest asset. It's what really draws a good number of our members here. And either they have been a member or currently a member associated with the pool. So,
so a large percentage of people come just for this. And then you and I were talking without getting into prices and talking about other places, but it is affordable. I mean, you can belong to a pool and not bankrupt it, you know?
Absolutely. Besides the membership for the Elks itself, because you do have to be a member of the lodge before you can be a member of the pool, but between the lodge dues and then the pool dues, it's very economical for a family. It's below $600 roughly.
That's amazing. And you guys do, and we're going to talk more about this coming up in just a minute, but there are lots of events, and you have food and drinks out here. I mean, this is a whole 9 yards.
Right. We've got the grill, we've got the snack shack, we've got the tiki bar for the weekends, and then we have a couple of major events that occur out here during the year. The biggest being Shrimp Fest, which is a big all-you-can-eat, peel and eat. We have a band. We just did that a couple of weeks ago. Had probably 400 people out here for that. July 4th, yesterday, was a huge day for us. Really big crowd, good scene, a lot of fellowship, a lot of good times. It was good.
Lots of fun. And I'll tell you something else too, and we're going to touch on this in a minute. So you saw the big pool. This is the lap pool, but there's a swim team here, right? So they have swim meets, also swim lessons for the little ones, which I'm actually going to take advantage of with my little ones. So in a minute, we're going to talk about that because the swim team, they raise money, right?
Oh, yes. Swim for Cancer this year was the biggest year that we've had for our swim team, and they raised a little bit over $16,000.
It's amazing. They do great work for charity here too. All right, we're talking about all that coming up more ahead.
I just think that food tastes better when you're at the pool.
Yes.
All food.
Yes.
Food that you shouldn't eat when you're in a bathing suit, but whatever.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
I know. Okay. So maybe you hit the pool this weekend and the sun was not your friend. Now that you're sunburned, right, you do this and it still like leaves that mark. You're asking, what should I do? Well, the experts at the American Academy of Dermatology had this advice. Take some cold baths or showers to help relieve the pain. Afterwards, put on moisturizer to help out that dry and red skin.
And any product with aloe vera or soy, it really is your friend. You can also put hydrocortisone cream on, especially if it's a really painful area. If you're burned blisters, let them heal. I know it's tempting. Don't pop them. That actually makes my skin crawl thinking about it. The blisters actually help your skin heal and protect you from infection.
Yeah, you need to drink extra water. Sunburns draw extra fluid from other parts of your body, so drinking extra water, even when you're not out in the sun anymore, will help you from getting dehydrated and feel better.
Yeah, there's always that time, you know, you're feeling your skin burn, you know you should put more sunscreen on, but you're just really enjoying the pool. Just get out and put the sunscreen on because it's worth it.
And it doesn't matter how much the kids like complain, because they do, right? And you're just like, if you let me spray you, then you get ice cream.
Yes, just don't forget to rub the spray in.
That's right. Yeah, because if you just leave it there, it doesn't do its job.
Yeah, I truly am more of a fan of the lotion, but I bought the spray for convenience, but you still got to rub it in.
And so what they also say for that lotion, it's an ounce per body part, and an ounce per body part is like a lot. And you're thinking to yourself, what in the world? I'm never going to rub this stuff in, but really put an ounce in. That means that you should go through an 8-ounce bottle of sunscreen in one day.
Wow.
If you have 2 or 3 people that you're out there for like 4 hours or so. One day, 1 bottle of sunscreen. Okay.
Make sure you do it because it protects your skin. You don't get a sunburn, you don't get cancer, and you don't look as old as fast.
And you don't hurt. I hate the hurting, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Stay safe. Drink water. The 4 to 5 moms here.
I know.
To put your
Both of us.
sunscreen on.
But that's what you get.
We'll be right back. Question for you. Have you ever felt just a weight building on your shoulders? Maybe it's a problem you really don't want to confront or a task that needs to be crossed off of your to-do list. Well, today Coach Lamont is joining us to explain why today is your day to lift that weight.
One day a professor held a glass of water. He asked the class, "How heavy is this glass?" Students shouted out numerous answers. He replied, "The weight of this glass doesn't matter. It all depends on how long you hold it. If I hold it for a minute, it's fairly light. If I hold it for an hour, the weight is going to make my arm ache. If I hold it for a day, my arm will likely cramp and feel completely numb. Held any longer than that, this glass is falling to the floor. The weight of the glass doesn't change. The longer I hold it, the heavier it feels to me. See, I relate this to many of the problems that we're facing today. If we simply confront the problem when it's light, we never have to concern ourselves later when they're heavier. Put the glass down and find your answer. This is Coach Lamont reminding you to have your best you day. I'll see you tomorrow.
On a day like today, you better fill that glass with some lemonade or sweet tea, one or the other. You can mix them too, that's acceptable. But it is a hot afternoon, certainly. We're up to right around 90 degrees in much of the Triad. No surprises for the month of July. Wanted to show you where we're headed in the humidity department. We had a nice reprieve over the weekend, but now starting to see that humidity ticking back up, and that will be the case not just the next few days, but honestly probably over the next 7 days. We're just going to be warmer, hot, muggy. That's the story. Watching to the south, there are showers and storms in Georgia, North Florida, right along the Florida-Georgia line, right? We're in good shape, though, with dry skies at the moment. Now, if you're looking for rain, where are the chances this week? Well, let's watch the tropics, shall we? We're dry tomorrow, dry for Wednesday, but there's ELSA, tropical storm, going to be riding along the Carolina coastline by Thursday, and so it's certainly possible that we get some occasional bands, some occasional rounds of rainfall on Thursday. However, as of now, it looks like most of the rain will be staying a little bit to our east, meaning we might miss out on a good chunk of that. I know a lot of people want the rain. It might not be our storm for that. We'll keep an eye on it for you. Tonight, it's muggy, it's clear, 68 degrees. Tomorrow's hot, 91, I think, for your high, and it'll feel a little warmer than that when you factor in the humidity. Looking at the 7-day, again, dry weather through Wednesday, but watching Thursday. Occasional tropical rain, some gusty winds, maybe over 30 miles per hour, and we'll stay hot, pretty dry for the upcoming weekend. You're watching the 4 to 5.
Good afternoon. I'm talking about teens heading off to college. How can parents help them prepare? Sure thing.
All right, just last month, high school seniors graduated. Next month, many of those graduates are off to college. Students are getting ready to start a whole new phase in their lives.
Well, they absolutely are. So this means dorm life, living on their own without being under mom or dad's watchful eye. As with most big changes in someone's life, the adjustment, it can be a little bit tricky. So Blanca Cobb is here to join us today to talk about ways to help kids prepare for their college life of their own.
All right, so Blanca, we're going to get right to it. So she's come up with 3 M's to help parents with the process of getting their kids ready for college life. Let's start with the first M, and that is managing problems.
Oh, yes. Teens, look, they need to manage their own problems. It's so easy for them to ask mom or dad, hey, what time is this open? How do I get somewhere? No, you have to have them hit Google. They have to figure out these things on their own. And particularly handling interpersonal problems. You know, I haven't heard college students not having any type of roommate problem ever. So what that means is they're going to be living with different people, and sometimes you're just going to like rub each other wrong. They have to learn how to figure it out. So at home, let brothers and sisters kind of figure it out on their own without interfering. A lot of times it's so much easier for parents to say, just knock it off and keep moving. That's not, no one's going to be there to referee in college. And it's really important for them to start learning those interpersonal problem solving skills.
Right. This next M is one that I remember struggling with, managing time. That's hard.
It is hard because they're pulled in all kinds of directions, right? They have academics and social life and dating, and some might be working part-time, but no one's managing their time. There's no mom or dad saying, hey, did you get your project done? When does that test due? You know, no one's asking. So what they need to do is really learn how to manage their time, including time to sleep. A lot of times college kids will run on fumes, but we know sleep is really important for their brain, for their thinking and concentration. So particularly with projects and tests, they can reverse engineer it. Mark down the day that something is due or when something's going to happen, and then they just go backwards in time to figure out how much they need to allot in order to study and prepare for whatever project or exam's coming up.
All right, let's get to the last M, maybe the most important M when it comes to the parents, right? And that is the managing of money.
Exactly. Look, no one that I know ever had this pot of unlimited funds when they were in school. So what that means is there are going to be budgets. There are going to be limits to the amount of money. Mom and dad, it's so important to talk to them about your expectations. If you're going to give them money, how much? When are they going to expect more? What happens if they spend all of their money or overspend? Are you going to bail them out or not? Having all these expectations laid out front is going to let your kids know what to expect, and there should be no surprises.
Right, because just saying be good with your money is not really a specific thing, a specific goal.
Yeah, I remember I got my first credit card in college. That
and
is
you should do that to build credit. Yes.
You start having that conversation. 3 M's. Thank you, Blanca. If you want to continue this conversation with Blanca, you can find her on Facebook. Her page is titled Blanca Cobb, Body Language Expert. 4 to 5. We'll be right back.
Yes, you can. Check 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, hello. Check 1, 2.
Welcome back to your 4 to 5. I'm Maddie Gardner here with Tanya Rivera today.
Yay! It's Monday and I get to fill in on the 4 to 5. And it's the day after the holiday. So naturally, we find Eric Chilton hanging by the poolside as if he never came back to work.
I don't even know if I came in the building today. I just basically went to the pool. Yeah, let's take a look, guys. This is it. We're out here at the Elks Lodge in Greensboro, just kind of talking about how the pool is the centerpiece for summer. And we're going to talk about in just a minute some of their events. They have incredible events here. We'll get to also in a little bit in our 5 o'clock show, the swim team is going to be out here practicing too. They raise thousands of dollars for charity every year. So good organization out here. We'll talk about the Elks Lodge and some of their events in just a minute. Stick around.
To your 4 to 5 roundup. Forsyth County Emergency Services confirm one person was injured in a crash involving a train. Now, this happened around 8 o'clock in the morning at a crossing on Grubbs Road. Officials say the person who was in the car was taken to a nearby hospital, is expected to be okay. State police are now handling the investigation. We've reached out for more information. Of course, we'll let you know when we learn more. A sad story out of Michigan as officials say an NHL player died after a firework exploded at a 4th of July gathering. The medical examiner confirmed the 24-year-old goalie for the Columbus Blue Jackets died due to chest injuries caused by a mortar exploding. Originally from Latvia, the hockey player signed with Columbus back in 2017. Well, fortunately, only one person was injured in this fireworks mishap in Ocean City, Maryland. Firefighters say a fireworks company was setting up for a beach show when some of the fireworks just unintentionally went off. An employee received minor injuries and did not require any treatment at the hospital. Officials say safety procedures like a safe zone set up all around where the display was being set up prevented others from being injured. Starting tomorrow, you'll no longer need to wear a mask inside Greensboro city buildings if you're fully vaccinated. City leaders say they are following CDC guidance and will ask that anyone who is not vaccinated still wear one. There are some other exceptions. The city transport depot and public transportation still fall under the federal mask mandate, and anyone riding will be required to wear masks. Masks will also still be required at some city day camps.
Health experts are keeping a close eye on the Delta variant and new pockets of virus spread. Data shows that the Delta variant is now the dominant strain in at least 5 states: California, Utah, Missouri, Arkansas, and Iowa. In an interview on CBS this morning, one doctor explained the vaccine is still the best protection against any variant of the virus.
These vaccines are incredibly effective against all the variants out there, including the Delta variant, about 90%.
Now remember, effective doesn't always mean staying COVID-free, but it does mean even if you are vaccinated and you get the virus, your chance of winding up in the hospital or dying from it are extremely low. Despite the numbers from health experts, we know the virus is still spreading. Remember, the NC State school leaders say that members of their baseball team tested positive for the Delta variant. 8 players tested positive during the final rounds of the College World Series, and it sent the team home early. 4 of the players who tested positive were vaccinated. So what do you need to know about this Delta variant spreading, especially if you are vaccinated? Our Verified team breaks it down.
Verified viewer Ellen K wants to know if fully vaccinated people can pass COVID-19 to others if exposed to the Delta variant. So Ellen, let's verify. Our sources include the WHO, CDC, and the White House. While current CDC data suggests the vaccines offer protection against most variants, the agency says it's still possible a small percentage of people who are fully vaccinated could get COVID-19 and transmit it to others. The senior advisor to the WHO Director General said fully vaccinated people should play it safe because they could end up as part of a transmission chain. So we can verify, yes, a fully vaccinated person exposed to the Delta variant could potentially transmit COVID-19 to others, but it is much less likely than if they weren't vaccinated. With your Fast Facts, I'm Ariande Till.
Get you some fast facts on the forecast here today. It's mostly heat, humidity, and just back to normal summer weather, right? That's what we're tracking here in the Triad today. Maybe you've been out and about. maybe you're just enjoying it inside. That's not a bad idea. Look at you, Burlington. You're sitting at 90 degrees over in Alamance County. Plenty of sunshine. Dew point at 63. Winston-Salem looking all right at 87. It's a typical summer afternoon with some amount of humidity. Same story in Greensboro. A little haze to the sky, right? You kind of see this on these July afternoons. Current temperatures in your hometowns: 86 Wilkesboro, 87s for Asheboro and Lexington, and a little hotter than that as you go up toward the Virginia border. Humidity, well, it's still there. It's not really at our summer levels just yet, but we're kind of going in that direction. We're in the low 60s for dew points. I think it'll get higher than that tomorrow and the next couple days. Next few hours will still be around 80 degrees by 9 and 10 o'clock tonight, cooling slowly through the 70s. So it's going to be one of those warm, muggy summer evenings that you come to expect out of July. And tomorrow it's just more of the same. Right around 70 in the morning, right around 90 in the afternoon. No need to overthink that, right? Just a hot day. Wanted to quickly update you on ELSA, and we'll have more on this in a few minutes. 60-mile-per-hour wind speed. And where is the storm? Well, we're finally able to see it on radar now. We're viewing this from the Key West radar in Florida, but this is Cuba, and we're watching it spinning here. Plenty of rain over Cuba. Bottom line, it's going to track to the west of much of the Florida Peninsula, coming ashore and then passing over Georgia, South Carolina, and then North Carolina. The day we are watching is Thursday. I'll have more details on what we might be able to expect here in a few.
Dine-in, delivery, drive-through, takeout, no matter how you get your grub, you probably have a few opinions on which businesses do it best. So the American Customer Satisfaction Index polled 19,000 people around the United States by email. This is what the poll asked them about, right? Cleanliness, food quality, staff courtesy, helpfulness, not to mention mobile app quality and mobile app reliability. So what do you think the industry improved on this year or needs improvement on?
Well, I definitely think delivery was necessary. So
Yep.
a lot of places either established delivery or they really stepped up their efficiency with that.
Yeah, definitely said online apps, websites, all of that definitely improved this year during the pandemic.
And thank goodness, because at the beginning it was a little rough.
Yeah, it
Right.
was, definitely.
For sure. All right, so let's take a look at some of the findings from the survey here. Again, the poll asked those 19,000 folks about cleanliness, food quality, food variety, staff courtesy, helpfulness, not to mention mobile app quality and mobile app reliability. So get in your head the places that you think it should be. Here's the full snapshot of the poll results. Let me focus on a few things. Chick-fil-A got an 83 satisfaction score. That's the best of any restaurant. They're on top for the 7th straight year. And you know why? Because they say, it's my pleasure. It is. Right? McDonald's at 70. That's the lowest score among the chains. Now let's put this up on the big screen here because I want to show you this. This graphic shows everything from food quality to staff courtesy. And this is what we're showing you right here. Food quality, staff courtesy.
Right.
So this blue is the full menu places like restaurants and stuff. This red is the fast food places, right?
Right.
In every single one, the blue line full service restaurants, much better than the fast food. What do you think about that? Because most of the full service restaurants weren't able to be full service this year.
I think it's interesting, and I wonder if it's because the fast food places, that's just the expectation because they really do that year round. So when they changed because of the pandemic, they really didn't have to change too much.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be honest, out of all those categories that were listed, the only two I really care about:
What?
food
Okay.
quality
Yes.
and cleanliness.
Oh, customer service is big for me.
I don't need all of that.
Oh, you don't need the please and the thank yous and the my
food.
pleasure
As long
and
as
stuff like
my
that?
food is hitting on what it needs to.
Right,
that's all
that
I-
it's
that's
that
all.
it's good and that it's right.
Right, as long as my money's spent properly, the food's good, it's right. I got
They
what my
can
order
throw it
is.
at you if they have
I mean,
to.
I will catch it, but you know, if you just hand it to me, you don't even gotta say thank you for shopping. None of that.
Okay. Interesting.
I'll be back as long as the food's good.
As long as the food's good. And does it matter if the food is good but the price is a little bit higher because the food is good, or you're like, no, I'm just gonna go?
Just depends on how good the food is.
Okay.
You know,
Interesting.
you pay more for filet.
And so here's the thing, right? Think about this. I mean, how often were the inspectors probably in those restaurants in the
I
last
don't want to
year?
think about it. I trust everyone in the restaurants to keep it clean for me.
I mean, they still have the grades, but
Right.
I was just thinking about this today. I was doing this. I was like, the last time I looked at one of the grades, I don't know that I looked at the year
Right, if it was
to see if it
updated.
was 2020 or 2019. So that may be something that we do next time. Okay, one more snapshot look. Take a look at the left side here. The small full-service chains. You can see the Red Robin and Chili's. They made big gains for their satisfaction numbers. Now you look on the right. When it comes to fast food burger battles, Five Guys got 5 stars, a total of 78. And then it kind of goes down the line. I think there's Burger King there and Jack in the Box and all that kind of jazz. But Five Guys, first one. Are you giving them 5 stars too? Yes. Okay, 5 stars for them too.
$50 for a burger.
Ooh.
I mean, they're not in the same league as those other
Oh. Okay, we'll be back.
Yeah, I'm here. Who dat? Okay, thanks.
Well, you know, when the weather turns hot and the summer's in full swing, there is one place that comes to mind this weekend.
Yes, that would be the pool. And Eric Tilton is always in search of a good time, even when he is supposed to be at work. He is at the Greensboro Elks Lodge talking all things summer. Hi, Eric.
Never let work get in the way of a good time, people. That's what I'm telling you. Yes, look, this is where we are. We're at the Elks Lodge here in Greensboro. And the pool, the centerpiece of summer, that's for sure. And this is a big pool. And not only are people out here swimming, but they do so much more out here. Some stuff for charity, some just for fun, and their members have a good time. Kim's joining us now. Kim, and I mean, this is kind of the picture, right? It's kind of the Norman Rockwell thing, all the kids. Tell me about the events.
Okay, we do a lot of things throughout the summer. In June, we always have Shrimp Fest every year, which is a big event. It's 21 and older, and we have a band. It's a lot of fun. And then, of course, July 4th, that's a huge, huge family event. And we also have teen nights. We do teen nights once a month in the summer for the kids that are in 6th through 12th grade. They come. We have a DJ, pizza. They just pay $6. And actually, that's for anybody that's in that age group. They don't have to be a member, so a lot of the kids will bring their friends. We usually average about 80 kids here at the pool.
Really?
It's a lot of fun for them. I think they look forward to that every summer. I know my kids, it was a huge thing every summer for teen night.
They're gathering at the pool just now. Is it closed for everybody?
Yes,
Wow.
yes, it's just open for the teens. So we have some chaperones here, of course, and the lifeguards, and it's just for them to do what they want to do.
It's very cool, and I'm going to ask Manning, our photographer, just kind of take a look around, because this is, I know it's not open right now, but what is that giant thing, Ken?
Oh, that's our tiki bar. We love our tiki bar. That's open on Wednesdays and on the weekends, and that's for some adult beverages to enjoy. We have some nice frozen drinks you can have during the summer.
And you know, a lot of people that I talked to before we went on the air, they're all saying the same thing, that because there's generations of people that come here. It's not just, you know, new members are one thing, but you have people that have been, their grandparents were members.
Yes, yes. We are always having members that join that say, I grew up coming to the pool here, or my dad was a member here, and we always came when I was a child. So yes, there's just generations of people who have, and it's not just because of the pool, it's because their family were Elks, and they enjoyed what the Elks stand for and what we do in the community, because we try very hard to do things to support the community and charities and things like that in our area.
Yeah, lots of charity work, and we're going to talk a little bit. So in our 5 o'clock newscast, I believe the swim team's going to be over here, so they'll be training. We're going to talk to that coach and what they do, because literally, I said this earlier, but they raise thousands and thousands of dollars for charity. So we'll talk about that coming up, guys.
All right, some teens may spend the summer working at the pool.
Yes, experts say teenagers are actually joining the workforce at the highest rate since 2008, especially when you compare it to last summer, when the number of teenage workers was at a record low.
Our news partners in Wisconsin talked to teens ready to get to work this summer.
Thank you. Have a nice night.
McDonald's is one food chain that hires a lot of teen workers.
About 50% of our staff currently are high school students.
With things like flexible schedules and tuition programs, they target them specifically.
We're an education-first employer and really work with their school schedule and all of their activities.
Grace Frost is a 16-year-old manager at McDonald's and says she wanted to start working at a young age so she could start preparing for her future.
I wanted to make money, and I wanted to get the experience of working with other people and get those leadership skills, because they're going to be really, really helpful when I graduate from high school and whatever I decide to do with my career.
Frost says working as a team can be tough, but knows she has to find a balance.
It can be, just with how much you're doing during the school year.
The Wisconsin Department of Workforce Development says many fast food chains and other businesses are always trying to top each other with their work styles so they can recruit teen workers.
And we have seen some wage increases in some of those industries that attract young workers due to just the competition for workers and businesses trying to attract the kids into their businesses.
Workforce Development also says that teen workers have been increasing for the last 10 years. But the post-pandemic job hunt made everything spike.
Well, in the short term here, post-COVID, I think a lot of it is, one, the opportunities are there. Two, a lot of the other events that competed for that, if they were camps or schooling, summer schools, things like that, many of those things have been postponed.
Well, right now we are on top of some breaking news out of Greensboro. Greensboro police are investigating an aggravated assault that is now causing a slowdown on I-40 westbound. We're told this happened around 3:15 this afternoon near Freeman Mill, the road exit there. We know 2 people went to the hospital with injuries, but that's all police have released at this time. We will, of course, continue to follow this active investigation and bring you updates on WFMY News 2 at 5 and 6. In the meantime, expect some delays in the westbound lanes of I-40 and avoid the area if you can. We'll be back. Well, here is a reason to smile this Monday afternoon, celebrating 75 years of marriage. You know them well. This week, former President Jimmy Carter and former First Lady Rosalind Carter will celebrate their 75th anniversary.
Yeah, the two were married back July 7th, 1946 in Plains, Georgia, the town that they call home to this very day. The most famously lived in the White House, of course, and served as president and first lady from 1977 until 1981. Today, they are still active in their local church and have continued to be involved with Habitat for Humanity, often visiting and working at building sites.
So what is the secret to making a 75-year marriage work? Well, President Carter said it was all about picking the right person, while Rosalind said finding common interest and spending time together, which it seems like they do to this day.
And 75 years, that is amazing. I mean,
no joke.
Most people will never ever see that.
When you think about how much they've been through together, presidential campaign, a presidential term, and now retiring and working Habitat for Humanity, those are the images that stick out to me the most, is President Carter out there on the sites, even like last year, doing builds.
At his age.
Yeah.
Yes, and sicknesses and health and all of the above. 75, that is amazing, amazing, amazing.
Pretty sweet. Good stuff going on
Happy
there.
anniversary, folks.
Let's talk about the tropics. Tropical storm ELSA still spinning, and I just now got the new stats, the new numbers. We get this every day at 5 o'clock. Right now, the Hurricane Center telling me winds are at 50 miles per hour sustained. It's right over Cuba here, so approaching South Florida, approaching the Florida Keys. But the bulk of Florida is going to miss a lot of this system. It's going to go up the west coast, so Tampa getting hit. We're going to see it kind of in the Big Bend area is what they call it down there, as where it makes landfall. Then going through Georgia, South Carolina, and the day I'm watching for us, that's going to be Thursday. We're likely to get some bursts of tropical rain, maybe some wind gusts over 30 miles per hour. That's possible on your Thursday here in North Carolina. But the heaviest amounts of this are going to be to our east, closer to the coast. In the meantime, most of the days, just summer-like, hot and humid most of this week.
Hi, Forsyth County Emergency Services says they got...
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2.
Hey, we're getting ready to go to the 5 o'clock breaking news.
Hey, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie when my gallon something is, yeah.
Hey, mic check 1, 2, 3, live in front of the Greensboro Police Department. Hello.
Time for my 2 cents, or in this case, I should probably call it, I need some sense. This is what happens when you stay out in the sun too long and didn't have enough sunscreen on. Yeah, I look like a raccoon. Anyway, that's not what my 2 cents is about today. It is about the 4th of July and celebrations, in particular, family celebrations. So for me, growing up, it wasn't quite as big a deal as far as what we did as a family. Yeah, we might have cooked out here or there. We, of course, honored the 4th of July because it's our nation, right? We appreciate that. But making it a family tradition wasn't really a thing for me, but we have made it that way for our family. And let me tell you, it is wonderful. We spend all day at the pool, then we come home for cookouts and small fireworks in the driveway. And my kids absolutely love it. Something as simple as a little color smoke bomb on the driveway and they get to run through the smoke. They love it. And when I see the looks on their faces and all the neighborhood kids who all get together and run around and play, it really makes your heart swell as a parent. And all you parents out there, I know you know what I'm talking about. When you see your little ones, when they're still little enough to appreciate this, light up at something as simple as a 4th of July cookout. It is something that we all need to do. Traditions are important in families, and I love seeing their faces like that. Now, something that will not become a 4th of July tradition for me is this. Yes, I was in the dunking booth at the Fun 4th celebration, followed by Zach Matheny and then Weather Dave Aiken from Rock 92. All of us were just dunked over and over. It was kind of fun, but I don't know if that's going to be a tradition. Don't tell my kids because they'll want me in the booth. That's just my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. Happy 4th of July and 5th of July, everybody. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
We're on top of breaking news this evening. Greensboro police have blocked off multiple lanes of I-40 westbound to investigate a shooting. Now, investigators still have not released much information at this point.
But they say they did respond to a call near exit 217. That's the Freeman Mill Road exit. They say they found 2 people injured and both of them went to the hospital.